Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jason and I am your watch guy today. Now, I asked you in the community tab what you'd like to see next, and this is how you voted. It was a very close one, but today I will be reviewing the Tiffany OP homage from Pagani Design. I also got a lot of lovely comments about how everyone's sick of Pagani Design and, you know, yada yada yada. All of us reviewers only do the same thing over and over again. But here we are. I'm just going to keep reviewing what I like. So, yeah. So, last year, Pagani Design released an Oyster Perpetual homage to the market, and I got to review one. This was the one, and it was nice. It still is nice. It's a nice watch. It was quite popular on release too. I rather enjoyed mine, but there were definitely some improvements to be made from Pagani Design, and I outlined all of them in the video that I thought, in my opinion, would make this a much better watch. And they kind of listened for once, which is really weird. Now, before I get into that, this has been sent to me by the Pagani Design store on AliExpress. I have linked them in the description. That is also an affiliate link. If you buy a watch from that link, then I get a little bit of a kickback. In fact, if you buy anything from that link, I get a little bit of a kickback from AliExpress. You don't pay any extra. It has also been sent to me for free. I get to keep it. Keep that in mind. And with all of that out of the way, let me tell you about today's sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by watchshopping.com, an online store that was established in 2017. They have over 1,000 watches in stock and in hand available to you, and they are from 90 plus different brands. 4,000 plus Chrono 24 and Trustpilot review shows how trustworthy watchshopping.com is. They are the one-stop shop for any watch that your heart may desire. If you'd like to take a closer look, they are linked in the description. Thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. So guys, let's turn the camera around and let's look at the updated version of this piece. So guys, the chances are that you have seen me review this watch before. This is the PD-1690. It is a very lovely OP homage. Obviously, we've seen the increase in the Tiffany dial recently, and that is just absolutely insane to me. So when Pagani Design listened to the opinions I expressed in the last video, and other guys' opinions too, other reviewers' opinions, they released the new models with this Tiffany blue dial and the yellow dial also. So let me talk to you about the changes that I suggested. This casing was all high polish, as you can see, high polish throughout, and the Oyster Perpetual Rolex isn't high polish throughout. It's polished on the sides, but the lugs are nicely brushed and it flows into the bracelet nicely. So that was my first suggestion. After that, the date window isn't on an Oyster Perpetual. An Oyster Perpetual is a simple three-handed watch, and the date window kind of really did distract from the dial also. Take away the date window, add some brushing to the lugs, and I thought this would be a fantastic piece, and I thought that it would definitely get the attention of a lot of our pockets. So, fast forward a few months, and Pagani Design released this. This is their latest PD-1690, is the version 2, and it's refreshing to see an AliExpress brand get it right on version 2. We're usually about 4 or 5 down the line before it's actually acceptable for market, which is frustrating as hell usually. But I'm glad that they got this one right second time around. I wish they got it right the first time around, but, you know, over there in China, not everything happens that way, unfortunately. So let me talk to you about this watch, and this is going to be an update video rather than a full review. So if you do have any questions, make sure you ask them in the comment section and I will get back to you as soon as humanly possible. This case is 316L stainless steel. It is 39.5 millimeters in diameter. It is 11.3 millimeters thick, 49.1 millimeters lug to lug, and 20 millimeter lugs in this one. So the main upgrade for me was, well, aside from the colours, the main upgrade for me for the casing was this brushing. The brushing's actually really well done throughout those lugs, and it really flows well into the bracelet also, as you can see on the other side too. The high polish on the edge, I don't mind that. That's the same way as you would find it on the actual Oyster Perpetual, so I understand why they've left that like that. I'm not always the biggest fan of a high polish finish on a side. I know that it gets dinged up really quickly. So this one was sent to me by the Pagani Design wristwatch store on AliExpress. They have it available at the moment for £81.69. And if you wanted to pick it up, as I mentioned, the link is in the description. Over here we have a screw down queen edge crown. Now, this really does play a lot into the capability of this watch in terms of water resistance. Really smooth movement on these two. You don't always get a really smooth movement with the NH35. Certain ones feel a little bit gritty, a little bit grippy, but this one actually really does feel quite nice. Feels like it really engages with the crown movement quite a lot, and I do like that. As we move to the rear of the casing, let me just unhook this here. We have a nice exploration type of case back design with the Rocky Mountains in the background and the Pagani Design almost Explorer's badge on the upper side. Now we have the usual information around the outer edge of this casing: model number, water resistance, and material used, as well as Pagani Design engraved on the upper side. Now, with the sapphire crystal in this casing, this is a synthetic sapphire crystal. Altogether, the casing provides the watch with 200 meters of water resistance, so you can probably trust this in the water. I wouldn't say that it is a dive watch, but I would say that it would definitely stand up to a lot of water activities. Now, as we look a little closer at this dial, you can see the really beautiful Tiffany blue sort of colour. Now I feel like it is slightly darker than Tiffany blue, and I'm perfectly fine with that, because honestly, light blue to me is light blue. It is what it is. I hate this whole tonal discussion, like it's got to be the same tone. I really don't care. A baby blue is a nice colour for a watch, that's it. That's the be all end all of that discussion for me. The high polish bezel really does outline the dial very well. It takes nothing away from the design. It's a very simple, free-handed design, and that's exactly what the Oyster Perpetual should be. That's exactly what an OP homage should be. The handset style is very thin, very pencil-like in nature. However, it is rectangular, outstretched, and we do have really nice polishing on the outer edge of it. Lume centers on this handset and a pencil thin second hand in full stainless steel effect. You can see the indices here are applied to the dial. They don't stand up too much from the dial, however, they do have a nice effect being applied. We have a stainless steel border throughout with a lume center, triangle at the 12 o'clock, double batons at the 9, 3 and 6. Throughout the rest of the dial it is printed, and we have a black markings throughout. So we have a printed minute track on the outer edge with squares at the 5-minute marks. Below the 6 o'clock we have Japan movement to either side of the marker, and that obviously signifies the NH35 in the back of this piece. Up to 12 o'clock we have the Pagani Design logo, again printed in black, followed by PT time automatic 200 meters. Now, I really hope that they've upgraded the lume in this piece, because if they haven't, it's going to really annoy me, because they've got the chance, they've had the chance to do that. So let me get the lights out, let's do the lume shot and see what they've done. Actually, that's pretty good for Pagani Design. It's quite bright, well spread. I mean, it's lasting well. To be fair, the last one wasn't that bad, it was just slightly patchy in certain areas. The latest edition is actually pretty good. I mean, that's probably the best Pagani Design lume that I've seen. That's really a big issue for my moan section, because that's a staple in it for Pagani Design. That's a shock, an absolute shock, to be honest. So I really don't know how to follow that. A Pagani Design with acceptable lume. Don't think I've ever seen that before. Well, let's move on to the bracelet. It is the standard Pagani Design Oyster style bracelet. We have male end links on this one, which does extend the wearability on them. However, I haven't really had an issue wearing this quite comfortably on wrist. We have screw links as usual, the usual Pagani design Rolex style clasp. Folds out here and it is nicely machined on the inside, as we can see there. The bracelet doesn't have too much play in it. It is pretty good for an £80 watch, slightly above £80 watch. I mean, I don't think you get that type of quality anywhere else on the Western market, to be honest. Right, let me get this on wrist, then we'll go to the moan section. Now, the moan section is just dwindled after that loom shot. So let me have a little critical think about this one. So it does fit really comfortably on wrist, and it really does wear really well. Being sub 40 millimeters is crucial to how this watch wears, I think, and it really did need to be slightly smaller due to those male end links and the long lug to lug distance. But I think Pagani got this one right, so well done to them. So the moan section. Now, one thing that hasn't changed is the clasp on this, slightly sharp around the outer edges, and that is something that you find in a lot of Pagani designs. I mean, it's not dangerous in any sort of way or harmful, but it isn't exactly finished perfectly well. It is a much thicker watch than I'd like it to be. Now, I know it's only 11 millimeters, but because of the way that it really looks a lot chunkier on wrist. And I would have liked to seen this one slimmed down a little bit, especially considering that they haven't got an actual bezel on this. You know, they don't really need that type of distance from top to bottom for me. Yeah. Now, the one real moan that I have for this watch, one really like actual thing that I wished I could just erase from it, is that PT time. I genuinely don't know what it stands for, and I have no idea why it's there. I just think that they've kind of ruined the dial a little bit with that. I just don't get it. So in conclusion, for Pagani design, I think that this is actually a really good step up. I mean, the loom's all right, and I know I keep going on about that, but it's genuinely shocked me. Since I've been reviewing these watches, they've always had terrible loom shots, and yeah, finally fixed one. Incredible. Now, I think that the version 2 of this piece really did step up its game, and I'm rather glad that they did come out with a second version and really fix the elements that really let them down in the first one. And hopefully this is a lesson for them to finish off a design before release instead of just throwing it onto the market and waiting for people like me to tell them what's wrong with it. Get it right the first time next time, Pagani. That means I don't have to buy 2 watches. So guys, that was the upgraded version 2 Pagani design PD-1690. And I really do think that that was a really nice, positive step in the right direction for Pagani. As I say, I wish they got it right the first time because it saves us all, you know, early adopter type of regret. And I feel like that's a big thing with Pagani design because they do come out with a better model later on in the manufacturing stage. And people like me and other reviewers and other people that buy in early, they're kind of left with the, you know, the crap one, while everyone else has got a really good one, and it's really annoying how that works. But I suppose it is what it is at this point. If you'd like to pick this watch up, my link is in the description. That is an affiliate link. You will not be charged any extra, but I do get a little bit of a kickback. Thank you to Pagani Design Wristwatch Store for sending this one in for review. Really helped me out because I really wanted to get my hands on one of these. So thank you guys. Now obviously you guys voted for which watch you wanted to see next on the channel out of those 3 choices. If you have any suggestions for the next one you want to see, then please do leave me a comment or just tell me what you think of this upgraded version 2 or is perpetual. I hope by now you are subscribed to the channel, but if you're not, hit that little button down there and you'll get to see all of my fantastic content on your feed. See, that's how you get them in, right? You tell them it's fantastic, then they're already subscribed, they watch the videos, they're not that fantastic, but they don't unsubscribe. That's the trick. That's the trick to YouTube. Discovered it. Thanks for watching this one, guys. I'll see you in the next one.